All right, guys. Thank you for joining me again. All right, so tonight's live stream is going to be short. Uh, Again, starting to feel a little rundown. So let's get the 5 by 5s out of the way. Dan Phillips, thank you for the 5 by 5. Elaine Ozark, thank you for the 5 by 5. Mr. Landfill, Click, if that's what it says. CC, sorry, thank you for the 5 by 5. Again, your names look weirder on here than it does the Angry Prepper channel, whatever. Colt, Laura, Groundhog, Cowboy, Gregorio, Freedom, thank you for the 5 by 5. Jordan, Raymond, Dobie, Raccoon Eyes, Prep to Adapt, Flown Grown, Raccoon Eyes, Big Earn, Witty, thank you for the 5 by 5. Steph, First to Last, Maria, Colleen, Trapper Bobs, thank you for the 5 by 5. Occurs, All Consuming, Let's Go, Ed Lee, thank you for the 5 by 5. Lori, Wisconsin, Tris, 90%, thank you for the 5 by 5. Salty Dog, Ryan, Crow, GLK, excuse me. Cherokee, thank you for the 5 by 5. Are you 10-2? 10-2 what, John? Cherokee, Moose, Buffalo, Water Tiger, thank you for the 5 by 5. All right, Copper, Deanna, Cherokee, Phillips, Vegan, and Jerry, thank you for the 5 by 5. All right. And Jimmy, 5 by 5 means loud and clear. Trailman, thank you for the 5 by 5. Incognito, Kermit, Highlander, thank you for the 5 by 5. All right. Prep to Adapt, Raccoon Eyes, Joe 59, and Tuggin, thank you for the 5 by 5 on Rumble. Maria Jackson, thank you for the 5 by 5 on Rumble. All right, so we're good. Oh, it's Glock 316, but YouTube messes it. Yeah, it's wild how it looks on here with with YouTube on the Angry Truth channel, right? Versus the Angry Prepper, your tag names are different. It's just bizarre how it looks here. Spock Spring, thank you for the 5 by 5. So I got used to the Angry Prepper for an hour, then I switch over to this, and I see this nonsense. I'm like, 10-2, loud and clear. All right, I mean, yeah. See, 10-2, radio codes here in New York means to get back to quarters, right? And then 10-5 means repeat. It depends on where you're from. It'll mean different things. That's when he said 10-2, I'm like, 10-2 back home? Like where? Anyway, Kimberly, thank you for the 5 by 5. All right, guys. So, gearing up for war or profit. Why do I say that? Well, because all of a sudden, out of the kindness of his heart, President Trump decided that, or rather, he was indicating or floating the idea that he was going to send U.S. troops to Nigeria in response to the violence against Christians, stating that the Pentagon is preparing for possible military action. He emphasizes that if the Nigerian government does not act to stop these attacks, the U.S. may intervene, guns a blazing. Who uses that term as a president? Not the point. So, of course, I saw that and I go, very curious, because nobody does this out of the kindness of their hearts. That being said, Nigeria has significant lithium deposit estimated to be worth $34 billion and has positioned itself to become a major player in the global lithium market. The mineral is essentially for production of batteries for electronic videos, renewable energy storage systems, and microchips as well. So there is a lithium shortage is expected, particularly as demands for lithium-ion batteries grow significantly due to the rise in electric vehicles and renewable energy sources. Projects indicate that supply may not keep up with demand, leading to a potential deficit by 2030. Look at that year again, 2030. Now, I went back and looked at an article from 2 years ago, August 29th, 2023. A worldwide shortage of lithium could be on its way as demands for metal ramps up, with some analysts forecasting it could come as soon as 2025. Now we're in 2025, and we're not in a deficit yet, but we could be in a major deficit in 5 years. Now, yes, their lithium is used for rechargeable batteries for everything, right? For your computer, your laptop, your phone, for the e-bikes that are out there, for cars that are being made, right? And they also go into microchips as well. And because quantum computing, or rather AI, is on the rise and everybody wants it, that's more lithium than we need right now. But I think the lithium, I don't. It's lithium are used in microchips, but they're also using other metals as well, as you guys pointed out to me. Now, in Nigeria, in the last 2 years, 10,217 people have been murked due to attacks by armed groups since the current government took place. All right, the current government that's in now. Now, the current government did respond to Trump stating that they would work with the United States. And I'm like, that's code for send your troops in and we'll work out a deal with this lithium deposit that we have. And everybody could make money. That's what it means in a nutshell. The death toll in Sudan is like quadruple that number. I mean, not even quadruple the number. It's insanely high. Sorry. So the death toll in Sudan in its ongoing civil war is estimated to be significantly higher than previously reported, with estimates upwards of 150,000 people since April of 2023. 150,000 people in 2 years versus 10,000 people in 2 years in Nigeria. That being said, guys, we know why they're going into Nigeria and not Sudan. Now, the problem with Sudan, as I said this before in the video, their lithium deposit in Sudan is quite big. It's quite plentiful, if I might add. But logistically, it's a nightmare. And because they probably weighed their option, they looked at Sudan and they looked at Nigeria and they go, lithium deposit in Sudan is in a tough spot. They have warring clans or groups all around that area. It would be hard to secure it and fight off the insurgents at the same time. And they just need to get workers to come in there and work. And then you have that problem. A lot of the workers going to be murked trying to get to work, or trying to be discouraged from going to work by many different avenues, upwards of killing their family members. So they have to calculate all of that in. When it comes to nations like Africa or areas like Africa, you have to calculate everything in. And Sudan is just almost an impossibility. Now, when we get desperate, we meaning the human race, gets desperate for lithium, they're going to start looking at Sudan. And then it's going to be an all-out war for Sudan if we get to that point. Right now, with the lithium deposit we found here in the United States, in Oregon, and in Tennessee, North Carolina area, which is super huge, by the way, we have enough, as according to them, for years to come. So once those years to come are over, we're going to start looking at Sudan and going, yeah, we're going to have to do something about this. And they're going to go into Sudan, they're going to make it a fucking shit show. So yeah, there is a sizable amount of lithium found here in the United States that have us not needing other countries or foreign lithium deals. But like someone just said in the chat, greed is always the answer. Right? Greed is always going to be the answer. They're going to pay off these politicians to do what they want and what they need, and they're going to get. And lithium, guys, is like the new gold, right? It's electronic gold, if you will, or white gold, whatever color it is. That's the new gold, and that's what they're looking up right now. Tuggan, yes, thank you for bringing that up. I didn't realize that. Tuggan states that Nigeria sent troops for a peacekeeping force when Haiti collapsed. Right, and that was 2 years ago. Maybe someone also said that didn't happen. That mission didn't go through. But I don't know. Someone said that they happened, but then it didn't. Solar equals silver. I invested that North Carolina lithium mine. I invested in that North Carolina lithium mine. Yes, a lot of companies did, actually. I looked up, I forgot to come. One of them was GM, and I can't remember what the other one was. I want to say LG, maybe? GM was one of them. LG, and it was a bank that was involved. Like a bank was directly involved in that mine if you will. So yeah, listen, guys, it's all falling apart, man. And an EMP explosion right now would be probably one of the best things that happen for electronics because we are just too far gone with electronics these days. Though I am in awe of a lot of the electronic stuff that's going down. Yeah, it's still insanely interesting as to how far we got in technology in the last 20 years. We made leaps and bounds in technology in 20 years. Though when we were growing up, leaps and bounds weren't there. You had the VCR, right? You had the 8-track, which was like the 70s, right? And we were making these little movements of technology. But then, like, 2000 hit and boom, off to the races. And then the leaps and bounds. And I started to think, when I look back on the technology and the leaps and bounds that we've made, when I started looking at technology in that manner, I was like, again, my conspiracy theory brain kicked in, and I was like, is this technological jumps we made alien driven, or we're just that smart all of a sudden? I'm gonna lean on the alien driven part. Again, that's my conspiracy thought. Not saying that it's true. I'm just saying that that's a conspiracy theory thought that I had in my brain. But who knows? Is it the future? Some cars had record players before my time. Some cars had record players in the car. That couldn't have worked out well. I mean, remember CDs and shit in cars, and then they were always, every time you hit a bump, they skip, right? So they had to come up with these like gyro systems to help with the bounce. But would an EMP take out AI? It would take out AI unless you watch the recent Mission Impossible movie where the AI is looking for a bunker to go into, and then hide in there. But yes, it could definitely take out AI. Someone said alien tech. Listen, that's what I always thought. It was more like fallen angel technology. Whatever it is, the amount of technology and the leaps and bounds we made were insane. Insane, man. I've never seen such. Again, looking back on it. Well, Gregorgio, the shutting down of the power would have to be us. Yes, an EMP would take out AI, but that would have to be us. That would have to be a human move, not a political thing. That would have to be us setting it off. But an EMP, Jordan, yes, would be havoc. It would absolutely cause a lot of problems. But AI can be taken out with an EMP. It would fry everything. Again, unless like the Mission Impossible when we went into this cave and into this security vault system and then hid in there. Yeah, but I don't know if we probably do have something like that. Why would I say that? Our cars wouldn't even function. Our cars, yeah. A lot of cars wouldn't. Some cars would. CC, you think we will have a blackout? I don't know. I do not know anymore. Well, that's interesting. Supreme Court temporarily freezes order requiring Trump administration to provide full SNAP payment. Interesting. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, man. Bruce Willis's wife is treating him like shit. Seriously, fuck that bitch in the face. That shit she pulled with them was bad. And if I'm not mistaken, Demi Moore was like taking care of him. And shit I guess he got that bad, but all of that money, and they put him in a home. Whatever. Also, guys, if you do not mind, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. All right, guys, so this is just in. Supreme Court Justice, oh, God, Brown Jackson, Kajahi, whatever. Brown Jackson on Friday, today, froze for now a lower court order that required Trump administration to swiftly provide full federal food benefits to roughly 42 million Americans. The order from Jackson is temporary. She said it will give the federal appeal courts more time to consider whether to provide the Trump administration with longer emergency leave while an appeal in the dispute over payment of SNAP program moves forward. The Supreme Court's late-stage intervention came as the Trump administration closed in on the end-of-day deadline set by the district court judge Thursday to cover the full food assistance for November and use roughly $4 billion in other nutritional programs to do so. The U.S. Court of Appeal for the First Circuit had temporarily left in place the lower court's decision, after which the Justice Department sought emergency relief from the Supreme Court. James, thank you for the thumbs up. Everybody else is hitting the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Again, thumbs up, thumbs down, I don't give a shit. It helps out either way. Some people like giving them the thumbs down. It's gonna, whatever, dude. Just give me something. I don't care. I don't care what your reasoning is. Just do it. Anyway, Jackson wrote in a brief order that her administrative will facilitate the First Circuit's expeditious resolution of the Trump administration's request for a longer pause of the district court's decision. She said the appeal court could resolve the pending motion with dispatch. Don't know what that means. In its emergency repeal to the Supreme Court, the Trump administration said it has already exhausted the entirety of more than $5 billion in the contingency reserve, which was enough to provide only partial food assistance payments for the month. It warned that the additional $4 billion needed to cover the full allotment of low-income Americans would require a dip into the fund designated for child nutrition programs. Now, here we go. This bullshit is what it is. It's all bullshit. Because the amount of money that we give other countries, again, we gave, Argentina $40 billion, right? Was it $40 billion? It was $20 billion, then it was $40 billion. You could have taken that money and told Argentina, hold up, let's pay these people off first. Let's pay them for 2 months, not 1, 2. I disagree with SNAP being where it is. But the fact, guys, that, first of all, American citizens are turning on other American citizens and calling them lazy bags of shits, which they are, but not taking up with the problem of us funding other countries. Why are we still giving Ukraine money? Right? Why are we still giving, Argentina money, Israel money? But this is where we're drawing the line. I hit the thumbs up. And then somebody said, keep your panties in a wad. Yeah. Yeah, some people don't get it. Yeah, that's the other thing. Gregorio, that's my point. They're lazy bags of shits, but they're our lazy bags of shit. And we should, listen, I would rather supply American citizens, for whatever reason it is, other than giving money to Israel, giving money to Argentina, giving money to any other country, India. We're giving billions of dollars to these other countries, and then the Trump administration is looking back and going, well, we can't supply them with them. We don't have enough money. Yes, you do. You had more than enough. If you're giving money to bankers, if you're flooding the banking industry with $125 billion, you could have taken the $5 billion from there and flooded this. You could move money around at will. The nonsense that they come up with, well, this money's allotted for this and this money's allotted for that, and they can't cross over because legally we can't stop the bullshit. All the illegal bullshit that this country does, and they can't move money from one account to the next, fuck out of here with that bullshit. And I think there's money going to Jamaica. I think there's funding going to Jamaica. I don't know. What about the truly disabled? Listen, the SNAP benefits, I hate that I have to say this. I thought it had to go without words. But yes, obviously, guys, the elderly disabled deserve that. They need it. But for some reason, people like all of them. Like, not all of them. Yeah, there's a large percentage of disabled and elderly people that need it, and obviously kids. But kids don't need it. If the parents work, the kids don't need it. And obviously there's some parents that can't work. So if your parent is disabled and they had a kid somehow, then that would make sense. But a lot of parents don't need to have their kids. I mean, granted, listen, some of the jobs these parents do have, I have to admit, some of the jobs they have, they're just shitty jobs. And not everybody can get a good paying job. That's the other thing people need to understand. Not everybody can get a good paying job. It's impossible. It's just there are more low paying jobs out there than there are good jobs, right? You want to get paid good, you can become a firefighter, but guess what? You got to run into burning buildings. You can get paid well in certain police departments in the country, but guess what? You got to put a vest on, carry a gun, and possibly get into some shit, right? Nobody wants to work at the Piggly Wiggly or the dollar store, the Dollar Tree store, but people work there. Those are low-paying jobs. And those people with the low-paying jobs, they have to supplement it somehow, so they have to go on SNAP. You got military guys that are on SNAP because they're not getting paid enough. And they have one kid. So, again, guys, it definitely it's definitely needed. Should it be a generational thing? Absolutely not. That shit pisses me off more than anything in the world. But if you are on SNAP because you are disabled, you need it, you're hurt, you're injured, you're permanently injured, so be it. Is there another car thing in New York? Because if there is, then this isn't an accident. I'm going to go on the warpath and be like, listen, the way that explosion looked yesterday, they said, I wasn't buying it, but that's what I'm being told. So that's what I have to go with. But if there is another car, I'm going to look it up right now and see if there's another one. No, there was only that one. Cigarette flick that sparked massive Bronx car. And it was pretty, and it's funny, they said 6 firefighters were injured and 2, then there's 7. I thought it was only 5 guys, and maybe one guy got his hand burned. I don't know. Yeah, I don't see another a car thing. I only saw that one. But I like how, guys, that car, I'm going to do a quick video on it, but I like how that car, live stream on X just saw it. Really? Could you pass that link off, MT Gen, so that we can all look at it? Thank you. Okay, hold on. They saying just now. Let me check. An airplane whose chemical stopped mid-air seconds now. That would be interesting. They said it's live on X. Yeah, well, give me the fucking link, man. I'm on a live stream. Hook it up, son. Yeah, if you can get it, that would be awesome. Then I could, not awesome. I'm sorry. Well, whatever. Nicki Minaj says, standing with our Jewish brothers and sisters. Nope, sorry, bitch. We're not going down this road. Only mods can post links. Well, somebody post something. AIP coming to a store near you. There is a link. Well, how about this? Jen, email me the link at angryprepper@yahoo.com, and then I'll take a look at it. But, brother, I'm scared too. Scared of what? I'm not scared of anything. What did you say? Listen, my ability to get scared only comes for certain things. But not all the time. People are gonna be like, yo, what, yesterday people were like, sorry for what happened in New York. I'm like, what happened in New York? They're like, oh, so far not seeing it on X. Yeah, there's nothing on X. I haven't found anything either. Look at this. So Paramount apparently has an anti-Semitism list of woke. Wow, has a blacklist for actors who speak out against Israel. So far, Susan Sarandon, and what's his name? Played the Hulk. Played the Hulk in the Avengers movie. What the hell's his name? I can never remember his name. I see him all the time. His name's on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, I posted 3 times. All right, Jen, just send the link over to me. Angry, I used to be a firefighter too. Where? Ern, Big Ern, where were you a firefighter at? Memdani is Jewish. Mark Ruffalo, thank you, yeah. He's on that list, according to Paramount. And then Brandon Tatum. This guy has been in overdrive with protecting Israel. I've never seen such a guy do this maneuver. This is insane, dude. That's insanity. The amount of cocksuckery he's doing is insane. He talks about why do devils keep lying about AIPAC. Meanwhile, you can look up a lot of this information about AIPAC anymore. I was a police officer for a while. Duck. Oh, were you? Very good. Yeah, but also Tatum, man, he is just a fucking holy shitballs, dude. He is the licker of all cocklickers. I've never seen such a thing. 5G, he absolutely is. He's definitely getting that money, man. He's making that money because that's incredible. I've never seen such like he's just all over them right now. He's like, oh, Israel, my brothers, and this and that. I'm like, oh my God, dude, come on. I mean, like, even if you were like siding with them, you gotta be easy, man. You can't be, he's like being dickalicious with them. He's just fucking all over this shit right now. All right. Hold on. So there's a guy live streaming it. He said a second car device in New York City just went off. But he's showing his face. Show the fucking... yes. Okay, so it could be a car fire, but a car fire in this area is very unlikely. So he could be onto something. All right. I'll be investigating into this. If something else happens, I'll be in my car downtown somewhere. But this looks like a car fire. This looks like a regular car fire. Again, car fires, guys, in car fires in areas like this. This looks like downtown New York. Are rare. Not that they're unlikely. They're rare. He didn't say where it was at. And if I ask him, where are you, fucko, he's not going to answer me. And I don't know how the live stream works on here, like the chat. It looks like a regular car fire. It does not look like something. He has a closer picture of it. It didn't go off like he was saying. Definitely didn't. It's a car fire because the cars around it are intact. But it is a car fire. That's for sure. So, he's over embellishing a little bit. And again, guys, we get car fires all the time in the Bronx, like in Harlem. We get car fires all the time. Downtown, again, it's rare, but it's not unusual. I mean, like we've seen car fires here and there, especially when they overheat. We've seen those many times downtown. But a lot of people during the 2008, during the last, economic crash, people were lighting their cars on fire, right? So there's that. Phone Grunt, it's a nothing burger. It's a car fire. Again, a second car fire. We get car fires every day in the city, right? Every day. And normally it's in poor neighborhoods. Right? So what happens is they'll drive the car, it's stolen, it winds up in a Bronx somewhere, and then they light it up. Right? Is Bronx a really rough area in New York? Ed Lee, it depends on what part of the Bronx. So the area I'm in the Bronx is one of the higher gang-related, drug-related areas in New York City. Here in Washington Heights, back in the drug days, this used to be the drug capital of New York City, the Heights. When they were fighting for power, this was the area. There are a couple of spots in Brooklyn that are still pretty tough, and there's like one spot in Manhattan that's sort of softening right now that used to be pretty tough. But the Bronx, it's where it's at. I live in Montana, so New York City is crazy to me. Yes, New York City would be crazy to you, absolutely. Gregorio, yes. Thank you for bringing that up. Car fires are prevalent during tax season. People can't afford the car payments anymore; they light them up. So yes, it wasn't an explosion. It was a car fire. That's all it was, man. It got me all in a tizzy. I'm like, oh really? Yeah, man. No, it is what it is, dude. It's just a fire. And again, he focused on it, and guys are walking around it with no problem. Had it been an actual device inside or something went boom, those guys would not be walking around that close. They were walking behind it and all around it. It's just a car fire. And of course, the rest of the job found out about what happened in the Bronx, right? Something like that happens, it's immediately sent out like the next morning on whether or not, what happened and the findings. And they're going to come out with the findings in a couple of days. So I'll talk about whatever the findings are when they come out with it. But yeah, the guy was over embellishing just a little bit. My niece just moved to Long Island City. Long Island City's nice. Long Island City used to be a huge industrial area. They are rebuilding a lot of that. There's still some industrial area in Long Island City. Long Island City's coming around. I mean, I used to go to school in Aviation High School, which was a little ways from there, probably about half a mile or so from there. Yeah. 201 in Grand, but 201 in the Grand Concourse isn't bad. 201 in Grand Concourse has always been nice. It's still nice. I was in the thick of the shit. I am in the thick of the shit. Excuse me. Drug activity, gang activity throughout through the roof. I mean, we had a lot of gang retaliation going back and forward. It'll die down, right? Like now, it died down, and then the summer comes around, and they start offing each other. You see a lot of that in my neighborhood. A lot of shootings. Guys running into the firehouse, shot or stabbed. We had one guy come to the firehouse, stabbed. This is a couple of years ago. His intestines was on the outside. A small piece of intestines was on the outside, and we patched him up, and then EMS came, got him in the ambulance, and went. And the guy who stabbed him was standing over our shoulders, and I was looking for that. And I look up, and I see this guy standing there. It was the way he was looking over, and then someone was like, "You did it!" His buddies came out of nowhere. The guy who was on the ground bleeding, his buddies came over. "You did it," and they chased this kid into the street, and the guy that said "you did it," who chased the guy that stabbed his buddy, they both ran into the street and both got hit by a car. I hear, and I saw their bodies fly in two different directions, and the guy who did the stabbing got up and ran. So did the kid who was chasing him. The kid who was chasing him got up and ran after him, but he had a limp now. I was like, what the hell? All happened inside of 5 minutes of patching this kid up. So that was pretty interesting. We get shit like that ever so often. Like I said a couple weeks ago, we had I guess the cops were chasing. Sorry, I guess the cops were chasing these two people on a scooter, and the scooter got into a bad accident, and the scooter got into an accident. I don't know what they hit, but they were both on the street. The chick had a broken femur. She was in a bad way, man, and she was like, she moved her leg, and I said, ma'am, do me a favor, can you move? And she went like this, and her thighs moved independently from each other. I was like, oh shit. I went back over to the rig. I'm like, do me a favor, get EMS here. Her femur's broken. And they were like, and then, the chauffeur was like, all right, he got back on. Like seconds later, EMS showed up. But before then, EMS took forever to show up. And a Friday night in the Bronx, shit is busy. Shit is always busy. So, it's getting cooler now, so there's less nonsense on the street. But on cold, on warm summer nights, yeah. Yeah, it was my scooter that they were on, a Vespa. The crazy shit was the scooter got hit. There were scooter parts everywhere, but there was no scooter. Apparently, one of the guys saw somebody jump on their scooter and ride away with it. I was like, what? They're like, yeah. I'm like, I'm looking at the pieces on the floor. I'm like, how the fuck is this still functional? They rode away on it. So yeah, man. We in the firehouses in the Bronx or rough areas like mine, we see a lot of shit, man. We see a lot of interesting shit. So it does get the firehouse where it is. We see a lot of fun stuff. Every year we see fun shit. Or I'll come into work and I hear of some fun shit that happened while I was off or whatever. We see a lot of good shit, man. That's why I appreciate my firehouse and where it is, because we get tested with everything. I mean, there's been more bad accidents in front of my firehouse than I've ever heard from any other firehouse. Bad accidents, man. People getting crushed, killed, shot, stabbed. I mean, we have it all. Accidents and actual homicides. You know, and whenever there's a homicide, cops are always asking, did you see anything? No, man, because by the time they knock on our door, the assailant's gone and they're bleeding in front of our, you know, we didn't see shit. They always want our help, but they never want to help us, which is wild. But it is what it is. Anyway, that being said, I'm going to go off the air now. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it as always. I will see a lot of you guys tomorrow. No, sorry. Scratch that. Tuesday for the doubleheader. Outside of that, guys, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it as always. And I will, you guys have a good weekend. And if anything pops up, anything crazy pops up, any more car incidents, I will let you guys know. And other than that, enjoy your weekend. And thank you again.